Johnny, how do you feel about spending the first Saturday in December in Indianapolis? Because I didn't think there was any chance that Penn State was going to be there.
I'm going to have to cancel dinner reservation for next Friday, Bob. I didn't think that we'd be in Indianapolis. Didn't think that we'd be at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Big Ten championship game. But the impossible, the seemingly impossible, happened in Columbus earlier on Saturday. Ohio State loses to Michigan. Ryan Day does Ryan Day things. They as 3 touchdown favorites. Neither of us thought that was going to happen. I don't think many people thought that was going to happen, but it happened. 13-10, Ohio State beats Michigan, and that opens the door for Penn State. They knew coming into this game, whether the players said they actually knew or not coming to the sideline, but they, being the Penn State fan base and community, knew coming into this 3:30 game against Maryland that if Penn State won, they were going to the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis to face Oregon, and they got it done 44-7, convincing fashion. Started off slow, but the Indy Lions are heading to Indy, Bob, and that's crazy. That's not what I would have expected, especially after that Ohio State loss.
Penn State, Oregon. To me, when I think about Ohio State and that loss, and they were down in the dumps. They had to right the ship, and you look at what they were able to do. That win at Minnesota last week, how they did it. Now, that really positioned them to be in this spot because they could easily have lost that game.
Yep.
But other than the first play, other than the fumble in the first play that Maryland ran, it was a dominant defensive effort by Penn State. I think they had 3 turnovers, 6 sacks. I mean, they didn't even have 200 total yards. They couldn't do anything. They took Ty Felton out of the game, which is what they had to do.
Yep.
Tyler Warren had 100 total yards again. He set 2 more records. But I'll just remember how this team has kind of fought and gotten better as the season has progressed. And they can beat you a lot of different ways, and that showed up, I think, during their stretch run.
They can beat you in a lot of different ways, and they can win in a lot of different ways, which is, like you mentioned, the resilience and what a lot of players mentioned when we talked to them after the game. Talking to Nick Singleton and Drew Aller, and we're trying not to get run over by an equipment truck here.
I thought we were going to buy it.
Talking to Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren and these guys that, they all talked after the Ohio State loss about how they had to turn the page, they had to flush it, they had to move on and not let one loss turn into 2. And the way that they went about that each and every week from that point forward, I mean, they've got no one to I mean, they earned this. You know what I mean? Like, they earned this. They kept plugging away, winning the way they did at Minnesota. I mean, it was impressive. And to cap it off today here at Beaver Stadium, this might be the last time that Penn State plays at Beaver Stadium this season, Bob. We were thinking for the last month that Penn State's, they're positioned for a first-round game. Well, shoot, they might go beat Oregon in Indianapolis and get a first-round bye in the college football playoff. It's possible. And if they lose, I still think they'll be positioned for a first-round home game in the college football playoff. But, man, this team has an opportunity to have an even better path to a national title game.
It was the senior day that I don't think anyone quite saw coming. No. Penn State took care of business. Ohio State did not. Penn State's going to Indy to face the Ducks.